Good morning, friends. I hope you're doing well. I have not done a plan with me in a while, so I thought I would do that. Here are some of the washes that I plan on using. These two are from Happy Daria, and this from Simply Gilded. My highlighters are my liners, and yeah, I'm just using the basic things that I use in a lot of my videos. This is my current pencil pouch. I love this. I've had it for so many years. It's just really sturdy. It is a little small for me though, so I only use it for the basics, which are the mild liners, my Uniball one. I recently just found that pink pen that you see laying there, and it works really well. It's from a TikTok video that I posted recently, if interested. I am going to set up my habits and such with the purple Stedler. I think it's like a lilac fine point. It has the purple lid cap thing on it. And then my basics that I use are the Stedler gray for the left side for the task boxes and then the lines. And then last week I did the purple, so I really liked it and it matched the washi I picked this week, so I'm going to use that one again. I'm trying to just white out all the words. I always do that because they show through with the washi tapes. I just use any type of like roller whiteout. This one's like not super flat. That's why I'm doing is like rolling off the little fold up areas that aren't laying flat. Normally works well, but I think I'm trying to hurry here, so it's just not working out for me. This little whiteout I got at a cute store at the mall called Violet K-pop. They have a bunch of cute little kawaii accessories and stuff. They have a bunch of K-pop stuff too for those that are interested in those types of things. It's just a cute little shop. I really like it. They have tons of pens and stuff like that. They're all cute little gel pens though, so you can't really use them in the Hobonichi because they smear. It's my little straight edge that I made with resin. I hope to one day put them in my shop, but I haven't been able to mass produce them yet or figure out how I would like to do them. All the little charms on the top right, those are all little resin things that I was experimenting with as well. Oh, and the little kitty clip too, next to the purple washi in the top center. Now I'm just rounding the corners. Sorry it's been so long since I've done one of these. I'm just a really awkward on camera type person, but I am starting to get, not starting to, but I still regularly get questions about my planner setup and how it works really. So I thought I would update and do another video. For the most part, my trackers are pretty regular. I use the same ones every week. I just sometimes I change the location that they are on the page just to switch it up some. I love this little lilac washi from Happy Daria. It's one of my favorites, and it was why I chose the washi this week. I have a lot of doctor's appointments and stuff, so I thought the lavender being calming and such, it just was fitting. It's just, I don't know, I like these two colors together too. They're really cute. The pastel, like teal turquoise color and the lilac. You can see my last week's spread isn't completed yet. For the little boxes, that's what I'm doing here. I just use the Hobonichi little stencil that they have, and I do every other box. And then for the weekend one, I skip the first box so that I can put the little banner saying weekend that I always put in my planner. I've been working on a stencil that's small that has some cute shapes and stuff on it for my shop for, I don't know, a while. I just can't get my silhouette to cut the material. It just, I don't know, it starts getting a little deformed, and I don't know. I want to produce really nice quality things, and some people might be okay with it, but I'm just not. I want everything to be as perfect as I can make it. So whenever I figure that out, I will be selling those in my shop as well. Lately, I've been working on the new holiday items and other items for the Black Friday launch. I am thinking I'm gonna launch a couple of days before Black Friday, but I'm not positive yet. I'm trying to see how it all works out, but I am thinking that it'll be earlier than Black Friday, sometime next week, maybe like Monday or Tuesday. Fingers crossed. My liners are just the violet one, and then my turquoise one is not in English, so I'm not sure of the exact name, but it's the neon set that I got it from. And those two match the washes, but there's also accents of pink and blue. So I'm using two different purples and then the pink and the blue. And I always have my gray one with me because I use it on my hourly tracker. Right now I'm just scribbling over the dates because I like to add a little bit of color over there. And next I'm going to add in the weather. I always use the pink for the highs, like the high temperatures, and then I use blue for the lows. For the pink, I just put at the top line for the same lines that are used on the left page, and then I go down to for the blue, so it should skip two every time you highlight the two squares. And then in between the pink and the blue, I draw a little weather doodle for whatever the weather is supposed to be that day. And then in the extra spaces underneath each weather tracker, I put the little bear emotion stickers that I have on the mini pages on my website, just to kind of track my mood vibe for that day. Right now I'm just putting it on my trackers. The top one is my hourly. It goes down for 5 squares because I only track Monday through Friday because I don't know, I just know I won't keep up with the hourly on the weekend with family being home and just doing stuff. I don't care to keep track of that. I used to, but I more felt bothered that I wasn't completing the chart instead of it being any kind of productive thing for me. And then the next one is my daily. That one goes across 10 squares, and then it goes down 9, I think. That includes the top where you highlight. Next to that is my caffeine and water intake. And now I'm doing my social tracker. For the liquids habit tracker, I just do the caffeine on the left and the water on the right. I just put a little dot in there for every time I have a cup of either, I guess. I wouldn't say it's a serving, but like a whole coffee mug or a whole glass of water. This is my sleep tracker. And then the next one is my mini log, which for that one I track like my children and hubby and pet stuff, and then like emails, finances. I think that's my medication each day. That's why I do every other square a different color because they're all different things on this one. And then the dots I just have in my key that's in the back, the same as my other habit trackers. My key is pinned at the top of my Instagram. It's always there because I get questions a lot about that. So I just always leave it pinned at the top of my Instagram. Oh, this is the thing I was talking about. I used the straw lid just as to hold the pen lid on there because I thought it was cute. Honestly, I don't use these straw caps that much, but I have a few because they were bears and I think they're cute, but I don't ever have drinks that I would necessarily need to use one on. I do drink my coffee with glass straws, but I'm constantly drinking out of the straw, so it's silly to put it on there, in my opinion. I'm just doing all the line work now for the habit trackers. I'm right-handed, so I always flip my book upside down. I don't know if that's necessary, but for me it is. So yeah, that's why I did that. I always put an extra box on the other side for what time I go to bed. And I noticed that I had forgotten that right there. So I was just putting it in really quick. I feel like this year is flying. I feel like every year at the end of the year feels like it's going faster than the last. But this year, I feel like the beginning of the year just went really slow. And now it's just going crazy fast. I can't believe next month is already Christmas and December and all the things. I feel like it would feel less like that if I was still living in Pittsburgh or Ohio, though, because the seasons kind of help your mental bring in the end of the year, whereas in Florida and Texas and places like that, it's just similar weather all year round. So the seasonal change doesn't really prepare you. It may just be because I was raised around seasons, but I'm not sure. All of that also might be nonsense that my brain is just making up because it does that too. If there's ever any other questions, like if I don't describe something or you want to know where any of my supplies are from, please feel free to ask below or ask on any of my other social media accounts. I also have an affiliate code for Happy Daria that I'll put below, and I do update my Amazon shop pretty regularly with the supplies that I use because I feel like it's easier for some people that don't want to ask or feel uncomfortable asking to just go and check my Amazon shop. I have that linked on my website at the top, along with all of my other social media accounts, I guess. But all of my accounts are just Perabera plans that are for my shop and my planner accounts. I do have my graphic and web design accounts too, but they're just Perabera if anyone's interested. I do graphic and web design for not just small businesses, but mostly small businesses. And I do social media marketing and all things like that. So if you're ever interested in that, also please reach out. I'm just zooming in so that you could see how I do my weekend. This is not any kind of lettering I found somewhere, by the way, and these little doodles, I just do them. I'm using the purple. It looks kind of funny on camera, but it's a lilac. I think it's just bad lighting. But yeah, I just make this font up. I used to doodle fonts all the time whenever I was younger. So whenever you see me go through and write weekend, you'll see what I'm talking about. This is the new pen that I got from the TikTok set that I posted. I also posted it on Instagram as well. And then I put human, mental, energy, focus, self-love, family, house, just like chore type stuff, and then my company Perabera. Just write social, and then I track 5 of my social accounts, so I'll put those in there as well. And then for these 3 habit trackers, I use this same Monday through Sunday that I'm writing right now. Since they're all next to each other, it's just, it makes more space for the trackers, and I can put them next to each other nicely without having to repeatedly write the same dates. See, it's a pumpkin for my daughter, a ghost for my son, that is eventually going to be a bear for hubby, a paw for my pets. The next is medicine, and then finances and like email and mail I do together. So it was the @ sign. And then it's Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and then Threads. And then I always start at 4 because I wake up at 4 every day. So I go 4, 6, 8 because not a ton is done that early because of just getting ready for school and all of that stuff. And then after 8, I go each hour until midnight. This is the school thing because I'm like dropping off and parent pickup line. And then this is always pink because it's whatever I do for my self time in the morning. Whether that's like plan or just watch YouTube or journal, it's a variety. And I do use certain colors for my little doodles for weather, but it doesn't really make a difference. I just for preference. So if there's a cloud at all, I'll use a little bit of gray. The sun is yellow. If it rains, I use blue. And if it thunderstorms, I use like the lilac color. If it's windy, I use a little bit of a darker blue. And then, yeah, and I use the click art pens by Zebra for those. And to write anything small, I always use my micron. It's 0.05, so it's really small. I've been using micron pens since I was doing traditional art and design school. I absolutely love them. I've tried a couple other brands that are super fine point. I just never like them the same. And I'm finally doing the weekend text that I was telling you about. Again, I just make this up as I'm going. It's funny because I went to school for graphic design because I used to doodle fonts all the time. When I was in high school, I hand calligraphied all of the high school diplomas with a fountain pen. And that was like part of the reason why I went to design school was because my teacher was just like, you need to go for graphic design, because I would just have sketchbooks of just, I don't know, just different fonts and words and typography and all kinds of other art too, just drawing. But it's kind of interesting. And then I got to design school and they're like, do everything on a computer. And I was like, what is this madness? But I figured it out. So it worked out. There's a little bit of a gap next to the weekend word, so I will probably just put a cute little sticker there. Normally I spread the word out a little bit, but I don't know. I don't feel like it. I think it looks better all together like that, but I spread it out because that tiny little gap bothers me. And these are my coffee cup little mini sheet stickers. I always use one of those at the top of my drinks tracker because they match this like just a little white coffee mug with a gray bear. So no matter what washi or which colors I use that week, it normally matches. So I just use that one. I had to jump ahead a little bit. I don't share photos of my children online because there was an issue a while ago with someone stealing my photos. So I do not do that anymore because it's creepy. So sorry, like there was a big jump there, but I wanted to explain because I was like thoroughly like going through everything. Um, on the 18th, this might be silly to some, but on the 18th was the anniversary when my kitty Allie passed away. So I always put a little Allie on the 18th each month. She was almost 18. If you guys have been following me for a long time, you know that like she was posted on my Instagram pretty regularly. I miss her literally every day. She was my little coworker, my little buddy. But yeah, I always just put that there. And then also on that side, I always put like birthday stickers, like the little balloons, or I don't know, just multiple things that mark, like if there's an appointment or an important date or any of that stuff. These are just appointment stickers that I have, and I leave them white so that I can color them with my mild liners each week, and then they match. But I use this for doctor's appointments, therapy, all of that kind of stuff. This week is so full. I just want like a month where there's like no appointments. I'm sure there's like other people with the same situation where you just like want a week where there's just like nothing. You just have to do nothing. But maybe like plan or design or fun stuff though, not work stuff. But yeah, it's okay. It's all positive stuff. It's just sometimes you just want downtime. That's all. We've been like sick off and on in our house recently. So everybody's just tired. But yeah. Hopefully this video helps answer a lot of the questions. Again, please feel free to ask anything. Don't feel nervous or uncomfortable. I will reply. If you don't get notification, please check back because it's not really notifying anybody when I reply to their comments, I've noticed. Um, But yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't yet, please like and subscribe. I am thankful for all of you, and I hope you all have a really good day. And yeah, this is just a close up.